Hi everybody, welcome back to the Science of Golf Performance YouTube show. I'm Alex and today I'm going to be talking about spinal stiffness and why you need to train spinal stiffness to be a better golfer. So spinal stiffness, what is it? Basically a fancy science way to say core strength. So you think of your spine, it has this curvature to it. However, when we do certain movements, like the golf swing, certain movements in the gym, under load, we don't want that spine angle to really change. So, for example, if I'm doing a deadlift or a squat and you watch my spine, I don't want to be really rounding at the bottom or the top or doing these weird things with my spine. I want to keep it nice and straight, and we call it rigid. Rigidity is a good thing when it comes to spinal stiffness. So, for example, if I take a PVC pipe connected to my head, my upper back, and my hips, I should be able to keep contact as I hinge over the whole time. Now, when I have actual weight like a deadlift or a squat, I should be able to maintain that straight, stiff-looking spine throughout the movement. And how do I maintain that is core strength and spinal stiffness. So there are a bunch of different ways to train spinal stiffness, and we're going to talk about 3 ways to do so. The first way to train spinal stiffness is anti-extension. This is not letting you go into this extensive, kind of like lose your rigidity movement while doing a core movement. So one of the ways we can train this is with an ab wheel or a barbell rollout. I have here an ab wheel. So if I get down on the ground and I do a rollout with my ab wheel here, I want to be able to maintain my spine angle all the way out. So I'm going to reach out here as far as I can and pull it back in. Now, I'll show you not to do, and would be poor spinal stiffness if I went out and I arched my back like this, and then I tried to pull it back in like that. I can really feel that in my back. That's not using my core, that's poor spinal stiffness. Now, translating this to the golf swing, when you're starting up and you're going through your golf swing, you want to maintain that rigid spine. And if you get into extension, that's where we see people with early extension in their golf swing, which we know is not very ideal. So if you're not training that, you're more likely to have early extension in your golf swing. So the second way in which we should train spinal stiffness is antiflexion. Now, antiflexion keeps us from getting this side bend type movement, especially through the golf swing or any under load movement. So when you're going into your golf swing, you're trying not to get too much side bend like this, keeping that rigid spine. One way we can do that is with a suitcase carry or a suitcase march. All you need for this is a dumbbell or a kettlebell. I have a kettlebell here. I'm just going to hold this at my side, trying to stand nice and tall with my shoulders back, not allowing the weight to pull me to the side, trying to resist that weight. You can either walk down a long hallway, turf, or I'm going to do it in place here. So I'm going to march, bring my knees up one at a time, trying not to bend at the side, trying to maintain that stiff spine, core is tight, just like this. And you can do it for time, for reps, but that is training anti-flexion. And then the third one, which we're going to train, probably the most applicable to the golfer, is anti-rotation. So anti-rotation, trying to resist that rotation of the spine, building that spinal stiffness is going to help in your golf swing, keeping that core stiffness all the way through. So one way you can do this is with a band. You can do this at home, in the gym, wherever. I'm going to pull this band out next to me all the way to my chest. Now, this is pulling me back, and what I'm trying to do is resist the band from pulling me back from rotating in this way. So I'm going to stay forward here, little hinge in my hips, nice tight core, my spine is stiff, press out and in, out and in. You can vary the intensity of the band to vary the intensity of the movement. Obviously, a thicker band is going to be tougher to hold this. The thicker the band, the more I'm going to have to resist going like this, rotating back in towards the rig. I'm trying to keep my hips straight, my spine stiff. If you can watch me from the side here, if I'm doing it, if I go like this or rotate in here, that's not good spinal stiffness. So ultimately, with spinal stiffness, we're training the core, but we're training the core to stay stiff under load so that it can handle high amounts of weight when you're lifting it. It can handle high force, high speed movements like a golf swing. And ultimately your core is your transfer system. So it's not there to give you a six-pack abs. For the golfer specifically, it's to transfer the power from the ground, from your legs, to your upper body, to the golf club. So if we don't have a solid system in place, if there's a leak somewhere in that system, then we're going to have issues applying power to the golf club, to our golf swing, and it's going to affect club head speed in our game. So train spinal stiffness. It's important for golf. If you took anything away, you can do these things at home, do them in the gym, whatever, but it is very important. Hope you took something away from it, and we'll see you in the next one.